Yay. All right, it's still loading. Hold on, I'm gonna go on my phone too.
Yeah, Facebook does that thing where it's like you're there, like it tells you it's there. It says on Zoom you were in it, but then you go to your group, you're like, it's not even loading. It's not even there.
Not even there. So hey, y'all, if we're live, it says we're live. Can anyone just jump in chat for a hot second and let us know we're live? I see on my side, we're live. Yay. OMG. Okay, we're here. Jared, thank you for being here. This is going to be a hot and spicy afternoon. So let me introduce you to the audience here. And anyone that's joining us live, you're in for a treat. And if you're tuning into the replay, this is equally impactful. So just get in comments right now, y'all. Like, who's here? Shine your light. Say you're here. We'd love to know who's in the room. And with a little drum roll, please.
Oh, yes.
I'm introducing Jared Barto. Guys, this is my personal friend. This is my personal headache remover. He does my ads for me. He is such a stellar guy, and he's really gonna shed some light today for all of us on how to really call in high caliber clients with one piece of copy that Facebook and Instagram pushes out so we can go live our lives, be mothers, be wives, be feminine in nature, and do whatever we love to do. And the ad is just generating leads for us at the lowest dollar amount possible. So Jared, say hello and briefly introduce yourself.
Well, hello, Tiff, and thank you for that. I have been impressed with you, and I'm not just saying this because I've told you this offline before, so you know this is not just like pomp and circumstance for the camera. But in meeting you at a virtual event like 2.5 years ago, and Tiff popped out on chat, and I was doing like the monitoring and all this kind of stuff. I see her, and she is just like the only one that's kind of like on fire, so to speak, as you all really know. But she's just like going and going. I'm like, all right, there's something about her she's gonna get. And then we started to just connect and talk at that point. And in that moment, it was like a little coaching moment that you and I had together. And then we kind of did our own thing a little bit, and then we came back to it, and here we are. So I do have a question to ask you of now that you are not worried so much, quote unquote, about the marketing side. What has that done for you? Like, I know you're going to ask me questions, but I have to ask you because most people will go into this space and they'll be like, this is the magic pill. This is the magic thing. But we're going to talk about some other things that really go into it. But how do you feel now versus what you felt maybe like 30 some odd days ago before we started doing all these together?
The long or the short answer, Jared?
We only have 30 minutes today, right?
Only 30 minutes. Yes. Okay. Thank you for that compliment. Yes, ladies, you all know I'm spicy, and showcase your character here. Like, put some spicy emojis in comments below so we can just share our sauces together. And so to answer your question, Jared, I have so much more time freedom. And truly, I feel fully aligned with the women that feel safe to raise their hand and speak with me. So I'm very firm in that I don't convince anyone to work with me. I'm very firm that it has to be fully aligned, embodied, and reciprocal, right? Like energetically, spiritually, working together to generate leads and sign soulmate clients. I really have to get my hands dirty with women and understand their business, understand their goals, their family dynamics. And you have really rocket launched me to be what I would say a fully embodied woman. Like, I can do the things I love with my clients now. I have so much time freedom to really service my sister clients. And sister clients, if you're here, drop some spice in comments right now. Like, let us know you're here. Like, I really prioritize servicing my clients because I truly, truly believe if I get my clients the results they deserve and hire me for, in return, they're going to refer me, and I'm not going to have to work that hard on promoting or lead generation. And so what you have done, Jared, to answer this in a long-winded way is like, I have so much time freedom today because you have automated my posts that I'm already creating, and you have pushed it to my ideal audience. And the conversations are just so juicy. They're good. and like they're converting without resistance or hesitation, like zero. So thank you for that. Did that answer your question?
Oh, no, absolutely. You're more welcome. I wanted to tee that up because if we're not feeling that from the marketing, if that's not happening, then I'm usually that person that's like, no, stop. Like we ran one, if you remember, we ran one for a couple of days and I'm like, no, even you messaged me going, no, something's off with that. Let's just turn it off. So we just turned it off, but we didn't worry about it. We didn't have an issue about it. It's like, let's just come up with something else. It's fine. And it's still operate, which by the way, that one should be launching in like an hour or so. Okay. And that was the new video we just did. So yeah, we'll see what that does there. But anyway, that's a separate conversation. We're not going to do work stuff here. We'll do that later.
So Jared, so for anyone that's new in the room, and let us know in comments, y'all. I see comments coming in. Let me just shower. And let us know in comments. Oh, Sonia's here. I see comments coming in. Holly's here. Cheryl's here. Cheryl, I thought you couldn't make it. Ooh. Deborah's here. Erica's here. Holy moly. Y'all, I didn't see you coming in. Thank you for being here. This is juicy. Thank you all for being here. Aw. So Jared, for anyone in the room that has never ran Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and they're considering it, right? Like, what would you say your ideal avatar client, if you will, like, where are they? Like, why do they come to you? Where are they at in business? And where do you really tie the knot for them to really generate these massive results that you're capable of? Like, where are they?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think if you've never done any type of paid marketing, paid advertising and all, getting clear on not even just like what the offer is, what the service is, but it's like that alignment that you have to the service that you're providing. That's got to be crystal clear. That's got to be laid down, that 30-second elevator pitch without it being a pitch. Like, what is it that you do? And I told you before, there's two main facets. I focus on getting you clients and I focus on keeping you clients. And that's pretty much it. Like that's the simplest way. So people ask, it's like, oh, so are you like an agency? Are you a media buyer? I'm like, I don't care what the title is. I help you get clients and help you keep clients. So before that whole paid process goes there, that part needs to be clean and clear. Like, I don't mean just proven offers. I mean, you can look in the mirror, even on your worst day, go, this is who I am. This is what I do. And this is how I'm going to help. If you can do that, even if you're not like smiling, then you're probably ready. But until that point, I wouldn't even consider it. I usually don't even recommend it.
Yeah. And ladies in the chat, I saw Beth's new here. Hi, Beth. What is your service offering? And this is your safe space to explore. Like, Jared, tell me if I'm wrong. Like, it took me a long time to figure this out for myself too. And this is really what women come to me for, is they want to feel sound in that one deliverable, and for me, and just for an example, as you guys write your offers in the chat, like, what's that end destination you're bringing your people to? And of course, there's so many features, but like for me, I help women sign soulmate clients with zero resistance. Yeah, there's a lot to it, but I can look myself in the mirror and say it at the grocery store, and it's the same energy behind it. I'm deeply devoted and convicted to helping women sign their soulmate clients, not vampire clients that swipe their credit card, that deplete us and take away from us. Like, I mean, soulmate clients we love working with. And sister clients, if you're in here, like, we say, I love you at the end of the calls, like, that is success to me. Like, and so what I'm hearing on your end, Jared, is anyone, and this is for men and women, just entrepreneurs have to be at a place where they're sound in that one end destination offer. Am I hearing that right?
Oh, 100%. Like, I don't even mean in that space, that you've heard, not just gurus, but it's like, it's been that whole thing. Like, if your gratitude list doesn't make you cry, are you really grateful? I'm like, first off, that there's so much pressure on that. Like, I am grateful for this mug that I bought. You probably can't see it because of green screen, but this is a Trogdor mug from Homestar Runner, and Homestar Runner is like late 90s, early 2000s. It means nothing to anybody else, but to me, I bought that. It was the first time I spent $22 on a mug. First time ever, years and years ago, right? And the fact that it hasn't broken yet, on all the things that I do and all this, like, I don't cry over gratitude with that, but I have that gratitude. So it's almost that point of, you come to that realization, I love what this is. And if I spend 16 hours on it tomorrow, then I spend 16 hours on it. But if I only spend 2 hours on it tomorrow, I'm still going to love it the same, right? That's the level I'm talking about. That's the level to get to.
Oh, that passion. Oh, And so Jared, I love that. And I love your mug analogy. I've done my mugs inside, but so what, have you ever had a client come to you where they're not exactly sound in their messaging and they're ready to pay for ads, but their messaging is a little wonky or unclear? Like what happens when people just jump right into ads, right? Like there's no gratitude, there's no understanding. I'm just going to put it out into the masses and pay Facebook to send this out. Like what happens when we do that?
I have two stories for you. I have one personal happened to me. I just jumped right in. I was like, I'm going to do this because I know systems. And that was probably not the biggest mistake, I would say. I don't regret that. But I also look at that going, I probably should have invested that $2,000 into talking with somebody, even if it was just like 30 days of their time, just to get an idea of what can I expect here? What should I look for? I ended up making a sale. It's like $97, but actually, no, it was like 37 because it was affiliate sales. So I didn't even really make anything off of them. Just like, okay, fine, whatever. But I think when you have that, you're not aligned, you just kind of do it. You will spend that money, and whatever happens is kind of like that lottery thought process. And some people have that with marketing of, oh, I'm just going to play it like I played a lottery. And if I win big, I hope I win it big, right? One of those. So there's that first one of you could spend that money, kind of know what you're doing and get people in. But here's that question I always ask when we talk about the structure of it. What are you going to do when they get in your world? What are you going to say? Like, if you just do the thing to do the thing, that's great. You got 50 leads. What are you going to tell them? What are they going to listen to you when you rack the shotgun? Are they going to hear that, or are they just going to be turning a blind eye to it because they've heard that sound so many more times? Like, that's a Perry Marshall thing, by the way. Where does that come into play, right? The secondary, and I know I'm kind of unpacking so many different things here, but I'm doing like just a huge like bell curve range here. So you have that, you spend money, you kind of make something, but then you have another one, which I forgot to tell you this one. This is a fun story, but you have one where there was people that brought me onto their team because they liked my humanistic approach to copywriting and to discussion of ads. Of this is a conversation we're having without them even having the conversation, right? We're handling all objections up front and we're answering them even though they're not asking anything. Like, it's one of those, it's not a sales psychology hack or anything. It's just, how would you talk to yourself and then talk to people that way? I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. Anyway, they were completely focused, wanted to do this one offer. It's a done for you deal, all this jazz, high priced offer. And they started getting people coming in, of filling out applications, booking calls and all that. I'd say within the course of 30 days, maybe got like 20 booked calls. Not bad. They spent maybe 30, 40 bucks per booked call. But again, if you think about that, they're spending I think they were at $100 a day. So if you look at it that way, if they get somebody to buy within 30 days and their offer's like 15,000, I mean, it's still 5 times return, right? So to them, it wasn't a big deal. This is where a lot of people fall short. And I don't know if you have any sisters in here that do this. They get that idea of they kind of know what they're doing, but then they shift. Even if they just take one little step to the right, instead of being like, hey, coach, Tiff, do you think I should go this direction? What about this? Here's what I'm thinking. Instead of taking that, they just took the leap. And then they didn't see any sales come in. The lead started to drop. And I didn't take any pressure. I'm like, I know exactly what's happening here, but I can't tell you because it's not my business. You didn't ask, right? That type of thing. So then they completely shifted gears altogether. Then the account got shut down because it was completely different direction. It got hacked. I'm saying that because if you really are, and I don't think anybody in here is like this, but if you really close your eyes and you get hard-headed and your heart's not soft, you're going to go down that direction, and it's not worth it. Like, it's important to take the time, make sure everything's clear. They're talking with you, they have everything set, and then we can step into that and not have to worry about what's going to happen. You are detached from the outcome. Isn't that right?
Are you absorbing my content or something?
Maybe I'm kind of paying attention, a little bit here and there.
Literally, but yeah, detach and attract. Okay. And for anyone here with us live or on the replay, let us know if you've ever ran an ad or if you've considered running ads and maybe mid strategy, you wanted to change your audience, or maybe you wanted to change your method, or maybe you hired somebody new. Let us know in chat, because I want to ensure that what Jared is saying is received in the community, because this is very important. And Jared, if I can, I'm just going to unpack this one step further.
Please.
What Jared is saying, and ladies, I have made this mistake where I've shifted my messaging. And mid-shift, I had an ad running. And I forgot when I was managing it myself. And Lord knows that was a hard season for me. That was hard. I wasted money. I wasted time. And I honestly forgot it was still on. And I turned off my funnels. So like my system, I turned it off because I made a business shift. And Facebook was sending out an ad that I created 6 months ago that I forgot to turn off. And then all of a sudden, $6,000 later, I'm like, wait, what's going on with Facebook? And ladies, like, this is the trust circle. Yeah, Dolly says, I've never done ads, too intimidated. Dolly, do not worry. Jared will be taking care of all of us in the Soulful Leader container. We're going to talk about that. He's got like some preferred things, and he's doing some real awesome things for the Soulful Leader ladies. But anyway, what I'm hearing you say, and ladies, I want to make sure this is received, like, we have to be extremely sound in the direction we want our business to go, and we have to have the systems to support it. And when the systems change, you know, whether it's a landing page or a Facebook community, or if the ad is pushing to book a call, like if we make one change on our Calendly links, if our ad is pushing to book a call, the whole ad blows up, and then it costs a lot of money. And then also what Jared is saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jared, is if you change audiences, which I have done this, like if you go from serving, let's just say you go from serving yoga teachers and you want to make a big shift, and you're like, no, I just want to work with spiritual leaders, not just yoga instructors and yoga people. Jared goes behind the scene to make sure that the leads are coming to the soulful or these soul-led leaders instead of just yoga instructors. And if we miss that, we're going to waste so much money in our messaging, and it's not going to land because we made those decisions. So Jared, did I get that right?
Oh yeah, and a very strong technical piece. Absolutely. Like that's like a GPS issue, where if you decide that you're going to go to a location on your Google Maps or however you're using Siri, whatever you're using, doesn't really matter, but you have the destinations in mind, and you're driving there and you get to that location and it's no longer there because the maps weren't updated. Think about how you might feel. Just real quick, no matter how long that journey was, 5 minutes, 5 hours, just think about how you feel of that frustration there, right? So imagine that happens to you, but now it happened to thousands of other people that wanted to go to this location too. I don't know if anybody ever saw National Lampoon's Vacation, and they were going to Wally World and the whole deal, and then it was like closed for that day for cleaning and all that. Like the way that the Griswold family lost their proverbial minds and everyone just went crazy, like that was just one instance. And the way that Facebook looks at it as even just on a more of a grander experience, like that's why it's very important to get clear before you even start and leave the dock, before you even go on into the blue ocean. You got to make sure that we know exactly what we're doing, where we're going, and why we're doing it. Like that's got to be super duper clear. And I'm hoping that they're working with you on that before they even, if you've done it, right? I do want to put this out because I feel like I didn't say this. If you've done this already, there is no shame in that game. You heard from Tiff. She's done it. I have personally done it. Everybody's done it at some point. But if you're at that point, you haven't done it yet, just take your foot off the gas for a hot minute. I promise you a couple more days is not going to, the people you're trying to serve, they're praying for you. They're praying for what you're doing. So all you have to do is be like, hey, I'm answering the call. Just give me a couple minutes. It's not about our timing. It's not. As long as we're answering what we're being called to, and we're doing that in a soulful filled way, that it's not going to fail. There's always going to be something good that comes from it.
Right, because the universe is listening. It's listening.
Straight up.
Right. And this is where everyone calls me woo-woo. And it's like, yeah, I'm woo-woo. Because when I do the woo-woo, it does the do-do. Like it does the things. You know what I mean? The woo does have do. You know what I'm saying? And I love that.
Love it. I still love that. I'm down for it. I'm going to start quoting you for that, because I don't know if you got that from somebody else, but I'm going to do this. It's just Tiff's. It's Tiff's quote now. That's how it goes. TM.
Yeah, no, everyone, all the ladies love my one-offs. But okay, so and Jared, so as we're wrapping up here, we've got a few minutes, and ladies, I see the chat, it's coming in quick, but I see a couple of folks in here talking about ads were expensive. Do not worry. Jared is don't worry about that. Jared has some really inexpensive but super valuable offers he can share with you later. And I'm going to help everyone here in this community, because this is my goal for every woman to live a life that fuels her heart and soul, that she doesn't have to spin her wheels looking for ads. And Jared is a part of that. And so Jared, my last couple of questions, like, what is the biggest mistake you see with folks when they start doing ads? Like, what is something you can caution the ladies here in doing or not doing? Like, what is the biggest mistake we can all avoid here?
I got like 3 answers for you, but I'm sorting through of one that I think is the most applicable. Most people, when they run the marketing, I don't remember if I said it earlier, if we were just kind of talking about it. It's there's a lot of lottery thought process behind that of, oh, if I just put it in here, like I'll somehow make it big and all this kind of jazz. Part of running the marketing is being able to look at this. You don't have to make it a ritual, but looking at whatever money you're going to be putting into it, even if it's $5 a day, which it can be $5 a day, even if that's all it is, you look at this and saying, I'm not just doing this to make more money. I'm doing this to make an impact. If you can look at it like that, if you can genuinely look, this is not my message because I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it, but if you can look at it in that way, one of the copy suggestions I typically will give, even if nobody doesn't opt in, even if they don't get a guide, even if they don't go into a group, even if they don't buy whatever it is, if they can look at your ad, they can look at your video, they can look at whatever it is you're saying to them, and they can walk away from that feeling better, even just 1% than before they saw it, you've done your job. You don't need to know where their journey's going, right? You don't need to know all that, because when you are, again, this is where that whole alignment comes in. So if a lot of this, ladies, if you're like, all right, that seems a little bit far out there, this is the aspect of what makes marketing work. When I first heard this back in like 2017, I honestly thought it was BS. I was like, no, this is just strictly a business transaction. How is it that my ads are going to perform better because I'm thinking better about myself? Like, I was so ego filled in 2017 about this. And this is when you could get leads for like 30 cents and they were willing to spend $1,000, right? And so in my mind, I'm like, I've got a mortgage to pay. I am almost in foreclosure. I've got maybe $1,000 to $2,000 to run on ads. I need to get out of foreclosure. I want to keep my home. All the wrong reasons to run ads, and I proved it, right? It happened. When you run ads now, I'm not worried about, am I going to be able to pay a bill, right? If I'm really that stressed, stop running the ads. It's not going to help, right? It's super duper clear. We make sure all this goes through and make sure everybody's on a space that they need to, and that they could feel like they could trust you, even if they're not ready, because we have retargeting tactics that we can hit them again. So don't even worry if they don't do it right now. We'll talk to them again, but it's in that way of like not being all shady and gross. It's just, there's ways to do it. And I think Tiff, we talked about that before. There's ways to get it done where if they've seen you before, they can see you again, but you can do it in such a non-gross way that they see it. It's like, oh, hey, it's Jared. Oh, hey, it's Tiff. I remember seeing this before. This is great. What's she got to say today? Wow. That's the idea. If we're ready to do, if we're okay with doing that, then the ads will always work. They always will.
And this is why we work so well together, Jared. I'm going to unpack this one step further, and we only have a few minutes. Ladies, this is what I mean when I say serve your audience instead of sell your audience. Serve them with so much nourishment. Every time they see you, they win. They click your ad, they click your post, they join your group, they join your webinar. Because if every time they're in your space and they win, they're going to come back. In worst case, they're going to share your stuff. Like, hey, yo, isn't that what we do content for anyways? For people to share our stuff, know, like, and trust us. So when we do make that offer, like, hey, if you want solution to X pain, here's my offer and benefit, result. And that's really what Jared has helped me articulate in a 30-second segment, is like benefit, result. And that took a lot of coaching, right? And that's why, ladies, and don't fret, I see some things coming in chat, but it goes away. I see a lot of like, ads aren't cheap, ads stink. And I you, they do. But once we really become sound and aligned in what we offer, and Jared invited us all to share that earlier in chat, and I'll invite us all again, like, what is that end destination offer you bring your clients to? you can work with me on that if you're called, but Jared really brings that into a 30-second video or 30-second written copy that, and pay Facebook to put it out in front of your audience. And if we're putting ads out there to get us out of foreclosure or to pay the Mercedes, or like, we're going to get that frantic, because again, the universe is listening. We're going to attract vampire beings if we're acting like vampires. If we're trying to take from our audience, they're just going to take right back. And it's like icky, yuckiness. And we don't want that. So thank you, Jared, for being honest and not being a money hungry ads person. Like, it has to be fully in alignment and servicing to make an impact, not to make a fortune. So I really, y'all, if y'all get a pen and paper, write that down, because I actually did, because sometimes I need a reminder. And Jared, so as we wrap up here, so if anyone in here is feeling frustrated with their ads, maybe they're spending a lot of money and maybe a little ashamed or embarrassed or guilty for what they're doing in their ads, or maybe they're just starting to play with ads, where would they find you? How can they reach you to, really have a consult and see if working together aligns?
No, that's a great question. I am very picky with who I talk to and who I work with, not because I don't want to talk to everybody. It's the real reason is I'm an introvert at heart, and I like my quiet, and I like it. But anyway, so when it's time to work, I'm extroverted. You would never see it when you see me on stage. I've done musicianship on stage, speaking, all this, and it's like, wow, this guy's full of energy. And the moment I'm off the stage, I'm like, okay, I'm done. Just I'm gonna go read a book, I want my cup of coffee, and leave you alone. But the best way is strictly just on Facebook. It's just Jared Barto, Jared S. Barto. It's one of them that it's super duper simple to find. And we really just have a legit messenger conversation. And it really is, tell me what you're working on. Tell me what your plans are. Tell me what you're doing. If I think now is a good time, then we'll talk. Like we'll actually get just like on a Zoom, and I will give you strategies, right? Yeah. I may not have the time to implement them, but it would be a remiss of me to not at least share this is what it is. But if we're already at that point of not sure of my strategies, I really think, Tiff, that's where they talk to you of, let me make sure this is clear. Let me make sure this is, because there is a time where you run your marketing that there will be moments when you're spending your money and you do not see a lot of leads come in. Or people that aren't interested, right? You'll see that. That doesn't mean they're broken. That usually means, okay, what are they doing with it though? And that's what we talk about. That's what we start angling a little bit more, like we did with the previous ad of, it doesn't mean it's not working. It just means that audience in that particular moment with this particular spend and this particular range did not get clear with that message. They probably weren't ready for it yet. So let's try something different. And that's all it is. We didn't see it. I didn't see it as a waste. It was just, we got to figure out what's going on in the middle.
Learning, right? These are all entrepreneurial learning curves, and I invite struggle. And anyone here, like, let me know in chat, like, have you ever had a hardship that turned into the best learnership in your business? Because I know for me, spending $6,000 with 0 results when I just left my ad on, and y'all, like, I didn't have $6,000 just hanging out. Like, it was charging to my credit card that I didn't know. It was my business credit card that I thought I canceled. And like that hardship, that pain, that kind of gift of desperation of like, I never want to do this again, is what led me to hiring Jared. It was a pricey lesson, right? But it was the best lesson. Yeah. And thank you for all your honesty and all your ninja ad tips, Jared, and everyone. I'll tag Jared in the group so you can find him after. In closing, so Jared, I know this is something we talked about. If anyone finds you after this, if they message you with a hashtag sign Soulmate Client Show, you're going to give them preferred pricing, and you're going to the conversation with them before your other lead flows. Yes, is that right?
That's correct. That is correct. That is something we talked about. And the reason for that is Tiff, I've trusted you enough with what we've talked about in some of, like, I don't want to say like the secret sauces stuff, because it's not like a KFC thing where it's like, oh, here's the word to like, it's nothing like that, right? I don't even like KFC. I should make everybody know. Okay, doesn't matter. Tan, I might have a little ADHD when it comes to these things. Anyway, no, I trust you enough because everything I'm sharing with you, you're not just like, hey, everybody, look at what I'm doing. This is what we did. And boom, boom, boom. It's like you're taking that to heart. So why not prioritize when people are like, hey, I'm with Tiff. I know Tiff. This is like that whole part. This is where the impact matters. This is where connecting with the right people, not just because it's like, hey, I got favoritism. No, it's like, we know where this is going. I take that seriously, that if we are talking and we're reaching out, that means you've got a message that needs to get out into the world. And all the paid advertising is to get to the people that haven't heard that message yet, that need it the most. And they're probably ones that are praying for it the most. So why not make it the most focus that we can give it?
Yes. Mic drop. Thank you, Jared. Y'all, can you guys just give Jared some love, gratitude, and appreciation for taking a half hour out of his busy day? Jared is working with dozens of 6-7 figure coaches and consultants online, helping them with ads. So really just give him some love here. Thank him. Jared, I'm thanking you. I know how busy you are, but I promise, like, this is what everyone is looking for, like this blend of, you know, heartfelt leaders who want to get their message into the world. And you're a part of that. So thank you for being in my tribe and all of us here. Do you have any final comments, or anyone have final? Oh, we got Mimi saying thank you. Erica saying thank you. Sonia saying thank you. Kim says fabulous. Hi, Kim. Kim's our newest soulful leader.
Hey, there you go.
Paul is here. Dolly's here. Okay. Jared, do you have anything to leave these ladies before we tune out?
Be gracious with yourself. It's challenging out there. And the only person that's really going to see that first is, again, the person in the mirror when you're doing your hair, you're getting ready for the day. Even at your worst possible moment and you're getting fresh and ready for the day, you're the only one that's going to be able to tell yourself, hey, you got this. So we're going to plant that seed right now. You have got this, no matter where you're at in your ad journey, no matter where you're at in your journey with Tiff, your own personal journey. Just give yourself that grace of, okay, it's not the greatest, but let's do it. We got this. If you can do that, even just a little bit every single day, you are well on your way. So don't even worry about it. 100%.
Thank you, Jared. I needed that. Thank you. A seed. Seeds manifest into beautiful abundance for everybody here. Thank you all, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, Jared.
You got it. Appreciate you, Tiff.